In 1.21.2, Mojang made changes to water and TNT, and that change made TNT spam farms completely overpowered. This change hasn't been reverted yet, 3 subversions later. They fixed the bug and accidentally, I would hope so, created a mess. They made sure that TNT inside water wouldn't kill item frames and paintings. But the issue here is that they not only applied changes to these blocks, but they also made item entities invulnerable to TNT explosions inside water. So what's the big deal with that? Well, the issue is that TNT barely touching any water will still blow up blocks, but it won't kill items. So the common technique used right now is to send TNT against a waterlogged chest, or pre-align it and then send it against a little bit of water. Now this makes TNT blow up blocks without damaging items. And since TNT doesn't deal damage to items in these conditions, it means that we can spam TNT. A lot of TNT. In fact, many players of the Chinese technical community have already made one game tick tree farms, achieving millions of drops per hour with this new trick. And well, this is the new meta. As of right now, you just have to make a TNT cannon spamming TNT and you'll have the fastest tree farm to ever exist. In simpler setups like my most recent playerless nether tree farm, I'm spamming TNT like this and achieving completely ridiculous rates with very little effort. This farm makes 50,000 logs per hour without any need for a player or a bone meal. You know what else makes 50,000 logs per hour? Most player-based universal tree farms. These farms require very precise and often complicated wiring to achieve 50,000 logs per hour. But these universal tree farms still require a lot of bone meal and a player present to plant sapling. So the issue that I and many other people are having with this new TNT tech is that it doesn't follow proper balance. It's too simple to apply and completely overpowers any older tree farm. I would think that some of us players of the technical community have found some fun using this new tech, but that we would still like it to be gone. It doesn't scale efforts to reward ratios properly. This whole thing can be fixed with one simple change. Make TNT do 1 HP of damage to item entities if it sits in water. This will keep it in parity with pre-existing TNT techs like Block 36 TNT or Corner TNT. Once it plays with the same rules, it will be balanced. All we need is to keep efforts to outcomes a balanced ratio between all the different TNT techs. When TNT inside water deals 1 HP of damage to items, this mechanic will be better suited for the game. Hey, editing patat here. I thought I was gonna release the video like that, but I think I did a bad job at explaining how to make wet TNT setups. So I'll do that right now. We have 2 different setups possible, regular wet TNT and wet TNT cannon. For the first and simplest wet TNT setup, all you need is to align TNT against the waterlogged chest or anything else that lets one of the side of the TNT poke out of the water. This will let your TNT blow up blocks, but it won't damage items. The wet TNT cannon is a little bit more complicated. So for a TNT cannon, we just need a bunch of TNT in one spot to blow up another TNT that will send it flying forward. Now, TNT movement in Minecraft is really weird and unintuitive. I'll keep it as simple as it needs to be here. When TNT moves forward, it comes to a precise position every game tick that we stop the game. What we need to do is find the last position it gets before blowing up. In this testing setup, I measured that it was about here, 1 game tick before blowing up. So now we just mark this block and put a water source here. This is the fucked up and intuitive part. As Intricate explained it to me, the TNT doesn't need to be in water as it explodes. It needs to be in water 1 game tick before it explodes. That's why we put a water source 1 game tick before the explosion. You can see in this Bilibili video that this is how this user did their tree farm. We can see the floating water sources here. Since their TNT cannon is far more powerful, the water sources are farther away from the explosion point than in my testing setup, all because the TNT travels faster through space. And this is the theory behind wet TNT tech. You can now use this info to make your own wet TNT abuse farm and completely ruin the game balance. Do you mind just sharing my video if you found it useful? I'd be grateful for that. By the way, you can join my archive Discord where you'll find 100 or so videos like this one and much more. Now I'll hope that wet TNT does 1 HP of damage to items soon enough, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.